Indian government opposes same-sex marriage in court. Judges in India heard the petitions seeking recognition of gay marriages under the Special Marriage Act, Hindu Marriage Act, and the Foreign Marriage Act. On February 25th, the Union government filed its reply affidavit as a blanket reply to all petitioners. Quote, despite the decriminalization of Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code, the petitioners cannot claim a fundamental right for same-sex marriage being recognized under the laws of the country, stated in the affidavit. Under Article 21, the fundamental right cannot be expanded to include the fundamental right for gay marriage. Same-sex couples living together in a relationship is, quote-unquote, not comparable with the Indian family unit concept of a husband, wife, and children, noted by the government, arguing that the institution of marriage is sacred. Quote, in our country, despite statutory recognition of the relationship between a relationship of marriage between a biological man and a biological woman, marriage is necessarily depends on age-old customs and societal values.
Okay, I'm losing track of same-sex rights in India. Keeps going back and forth, and then there's whether just same-sex, so gay sex itself being legal or not legal, and then the marriage going back being illegal, and then legal, and then illegal again, and then gay sex itself being illegal, and then legal, and then back to illegal, and then back to legal again. So there's two different things. One is gay marriage, and the other one is gay sex. And then keeps like yo-yoing. I don't know. I lost track. What's happening?
Okay. Well, I was gonna make a comment. Oh, go ahead.
Gay sex was illegal. Then it was legal, and then they made it illegal again. And then a few years ago, now it is decriminalized. Okay.
Okay. So that's
settled.
We're good there. Gay sex is right now, after yo-yoing back and forth, which I think is the only country that is yo-yoing like that. Gay sex right now is legal. All right. Gay marriage. Did that yo-yo as well, or am I imagining?
No. So we have been covering the journey through the courts for the case for gay marriage. We've been covering that over the past few months. This was the accumulation. Okay, this was it, and the government opposed it. So there was never gay marriage in India. There was a fight for gay marriage that we have been covering. And this was the final boss. Unfortunately, the government shot this down. Okay. That doesn't mean that there cannot be continuing fights for this. I'm positive that there will be. This is a setback. And it's because the Indian government said that it is against their societal values. It's against their cultural mores. Like, that's what was argued. They're probably, I mean, I wish Bubble was here. We need a lawyer. There's probably other finer details, but I was taking more of the commentary of the court, which I thought was quite significant, in saying that it's against Indian custom. So Rivka, go ahead.
Rivka.
Two things. Decriminalization isn't quite the same as legal. Something can be illegal but decriminalized. Did that mean that's in terms of punishment or prosecution? Okay, so it's definitely better than to be criminalized, but it's not the same thing, technically. And then point number two I wanted to make is that, so their whole brief that they wrote, statement that they put out, was that it violated customs and traditions, that marriage itself, is wrapped up in the state. But that in itself, from what I understand, and I don't know how long the state of India has been involved in it, but traditionally, governments were not involved in marriages at all. It was a religious thing, a tribal thing, a clan, whatever. It had nothing to do with the state. It's only a modern invention that states and nations become involved in marriages in terms of, licensing or protections for married couples or special rights for married couples in terms of taxes or things like that. That's very recent. So
Yeah.
I think that they're kind of playing games with themselves, because it could be a traditional idea, but the state being involved in it is absolutely not traditional.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. Like, marriage being a civil contract is actually a very modern invention. So fantastic commentary, Rivka. Hayward Jablomi is saying you need to enforce the. Oh wait, no, that's not what I meant to highlight. Shoot, where did it go? Oh yeah, Jake is saying many of the anti-gay laws in India didn't exist before the British Empire. It's a shame that they're still stuck on holding to laws that don't even represent their traditions, which I think is a very good point.
You know what? This is fair to point out that this is not their Indians' tradition, and right now, India's tradition is supposed to be the world's largest secular, country and all of that. But honestly, even if it was a tradition, who gives a crap? If you have bad traditions, then throw your bad traditions in the goddamn garbage. Okay? So this is our traditions. Well, you have crappy traditions. Get rid of them.
Tradition is just a bag of stuff that some people in the past expect you to keep carrying for them. And it doesn't necessarily affect the now. And that's why I wanted to point out this confusion that people like to engage in, that somehow whatever happened in the last 100 years is the way it's always been.
Yeah. I did want to highlight some comments from Katie, because I know she's following it very closely and we talk about this a lot. She's saying the court will hear about it again on April 20th. The government just presented their arguments against gay marriage in the Delhi High Court right now. Katie, please send me an article. Also, previously, the court has told the government that everyone around us is progressing and we need to catch up. So, yeah, saying like we actually do want to progress our values in this area. And then when asked for an earlier date for the next hearing, the government lawyer said that it is not an important case, so delays won't matter. And they're using delay tactics just like they did with the gay sex. Well, it wasn't legislation, but yeah. So very interesting. Wait, I want to look at the article again to find some more interesting. Oh yeah, so just to be clear, when we were talking about gay sex, when I was breaking it down for Armin, I think I may have said legal. Technically, it's only decriminalized. So if I said that, correcting myself. Wait, where was it? As noted by the Ministry of Law and Justice, the government advises that there is legitimate state interest in hindering the recognition of gay marriage. The legislature must consider societal morality as relevant to the validity of a law. The legislator must enforce such societal morality and public acceptance based on Indian customs. So it's not only a contract between two individuals, but it's a solemn institutional between a biological man and a biological woman. The center, which is the Indian government, advised that the fundamental right under Article 21 is subject to the procedure established by the law, and the same cannot be expanded to include the fundamental right for same-sex marriage to be recognized under the laws, which is in fact a mandate to the contrary. Same-sex couple. Oh wait,
Did you see the part where it talks about marriage is not just a private relationship?
Yes,
it's a public relationship with the state and the, so that's very interesting.
Yeah. Additionally, the government argues that while marriage happens between two private individuals, it quote unquote cannot be regulated to a mere concept within a person's own private life. On the other hand, the center holds that told the Delhi High Court marriage is recognized as a public relationship where several legal rights and obligations have to be adhered to or have been adhered to. The center advised the court that while it can analyze existing rights, it cannot create a new right. The law does not permit the court to circumvent the laws intended for heterosexual couples. Same-sex marriage is neither, quote, recognized nor accepted in any uncodified personal law or in any codified statutory law. Any interference with the existing marriage laws would cause complete havoc with the delicate balance of personal laws in the country, concluded the government, adding that it could lead to further deviations of marriage laws, including those applying to individuals of the Christian or Muslim faith.
So it sounds like they're trying to have it both ways, that it's a public relationship that is so private and personal, and it only applies, this public relationship and these laws only apply to heterosexual people, that gay people are completely out of the bounds of law, because that's what they're saying. That, and this thing about you can't create new rights, that's how you make laws in a set. You can.
What?
You can. It used to be the law about how people treated Dalits, and then they made a law giving them the right of personhood and being, and the same rights to be free from, assault or any of the, they made that right.
Yeah, like in America, we amended our constitution and made the right for women to vote.
That's why it's called a constitutional amendment, because you are amending it. And it's really, the thing that angers me the most about this is the fact that he says the court to circumvent in laws intended for homosexual couples. Okay. So, and not codified in personal or statutory law. So what's that saying is that anybody who's not a heterosexual couple is completely outside the bounds of law, has no protection from the state, and is not even recognized as having to, deserving of any kind of recognition, protection, nothing. So they're putting these people in sort of this no man's land where anything is possible and nothing is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So this means that our own Rivka has more basic common sense than the entire court system in India.
Well, okay, the Indian court system confuses me. So let me preface this. So the Indian government is a party in this proceeding, basically. So it's it's called the center. Okay. So it's the center who is arguing this forward. The court is still working on this, right? But these are some of the statements that were given on behalf, basically.
Like a friend of the court brief?
Interest.
Like a friend of the court brief. So they're saying, we're the government, and this is, our position on this particular thing that you're going to rule on, which is also really unfortunate because they're supposed to be separate branches, right? Legislative.
That's what confuses me about the Indian government.
Right, executive.
There's a lot that confuses me.
But I don't know
the structure of it itself.
And I don't know parliamentary procedure or what they're going on versus in the United States, but you would think
it's their culture.
Right, so it's sacrosanct and you're not allowed to say
internal matter.
It's my deeply held beliefs. My deeply held beliefs.
So, however, when the center was arguing that this would, I don't know if this was a proper argument in court, just a statement, saying that this would wreak havoc on the personal laws of India. Honestly, the little I know about personal laws in India, that might be true. Because remember our confusion talking about the changes to the Muslim personal law? So confusing. So honestly, I think that this might wreak havoc on the personal laws of India, which is why we should have one law for all. Let's have
Right?
let's have a secular law.
Maybe.
Let's have one for law
Maybe.
for all.
That's an idea. You don't know. Hey, music. By the way, we got 2 super chats. I forgot to. San
Yes,
Miguel gave
San
us.
Miguel gave us a good
Oh
one.
my gosh! I hope he's still here. We forgot to thank
Oh
San
yeah,
Miguel for
thank
the
you,
super.
San Miguel. I'll text
Oh
them on
my
Instagram.
god! We forgot to thank him, and also Music Guy gave us $10 super chat.
Thank
Amazing!
you.
Thank you for all the LGBTQ plus coverage. I honestly do really appreciate it. Hey, we're not discriminating against cis straight people, okay? This just so happens to be on the news.
And I would like to point out that it was 3 LGBT stories back to back to back, which I did on accident. But when I was writing this, I noticed that all 3 of these stories happened on February 25th.
Right.
How interesting is that?
Oh yeah. Wait, I was gonna say something. You want to read this one? But I remember what I was gonna say.
Katie is saying it's confusing because the judges are different every time. The judgments depend a lot on the bench that is hearing the plea. Yeah, I can imagine. And then appeals.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say. I remember now. If you're not Indian and you care about gay rights, please understand that whenever we cover India, we're talking about 1 in every 7 person in the entire planet, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many gay people and trans people, or gay people right now, India has, but it has probably more gay people than most other countries, given the size of India, right? So
there's probably the population of gay people or LGBT community in India is probably the same population of entire countries.
Right, multiple countries combined.
Holy crap!
Right, so
well, they say that
can I please finish what I'm saying, please? What I'm saying is that when we're talking about India and these laws, please understand the significance of this. Like, we're talking about laws that affect more lives than when we cover most other countries, right?
Mhm.
So just like put that in perspective when you're thinking about India and Indian laws and customs and whatever. All right, Rivka.
You're muted.
Oh, I was going to give you the number. So it's 10%, they say, of the population is probably gay. You know, like that's the sort of the, that's what they say, you know, of any given population. Just like they say 10% of the population is probably smokes marijuana too. But that number is a little bit more. But so what's 10% of a billion? It's like 10 million or something, you know, like, right?
Holy crap.
Because there's 1 billion people in India. And if you take 10% of that, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Katie is saying 2.5 million gay people, not the entire LGBT community. Is this specifically gay men, or are lesbians also included? Or is this just 2.5 million gay men? Holy cow. Oh, wait. Well, then other people are giving us other numbers. Some people are saying 130 million. Some people are saying 100 million gay Indians.
I was just guessing on the math on that. Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, that's sort of what is said about, you know, the populations of anywhere. You can imagine that probably close to, you know, so girls take over. So, yeah, that's a lot of gay.
Yeah. 10% of 1 billion is 100
million. Yeah, that's what.
Then the population of India, I think, is over 1 billion. So then this person is saying they'd be 137 million, which is 10%.
Right.
And then Secular Rarity is saying we did a poll in the US. Actually, there was about 6.5% of the population. But of course, we're talking about people who are openly
or willing to tell you. Yeah, but 6.5. Exactly. So that's say almost 7. So that's near-ish. But yeah, that's actually, but still 6.5% of 1 billion is still a lot of people. Right? You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So India, we're going to be continuing to cover this when this goes forward in April next month. Bring it on, baby.
Yeah, let's hope.
Let us be merry and
we have better news next time.
Yeah, namaste.
Yes. And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy of Why There's No. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.